Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 Episode 8, and I really couldn't possibly be happier with this episode, you know? I feel like not only did we get to see every fight, we didn't just skip over them, which I really wanted, but they were all animated really well and looked really nice and were fleshed out as much as they needed to be. You could argue that, well, I wouldn't say you could argue that they were rushed. They weren't really rushed. Because, all of them had reasons for ending quickly, whether it was quirk matchups, somebody being completely, quirk matchups like the Kaminari fight, or somebody being really a bit stronger than the other one, like the Aoyama and Ashido fight, or whether it be the strategy, like with the Tokiyami Momo fight. It all made sense for it to be a short fight. And even then, the ones that did have parts skipped out, it's reasonable. We didn't need to see 10 minutes of Hatsume selling her products. We didn't need to see 10 minutes of Kirishima and Tetsu punching each other. So they paced it for it to be good and for us to get what we needed, but they didn't let it drag on and get boring. So let's talk about it part by part. We start off with the Shiozaki and Kaminari fight. I love the Shiozaki scene. I don't remember it from the manga. I really like what that did for her character. The animation was great for this, kind of just a squash fight. It was very quick, but the animation was great. I thought Monoma afterward with his complex with Class A and B was really funny. The Kamui and Mount Lady scene was nice to see, and that continued through the episode. It was nice to see some of the pros and all that and their thoughts. Izuku taking notes was another funny thing, especially with the first scene where they just had the mumbling script going all over the screen. Next up was Ida versus Hatsume, and I loved All Might and Aizawa's reactions, or not All Might, Present Mike and Aizawa's reactions to them saying to Midnight saying that she'll allow Ida to wear the equipment, like, really, is that legal? And then Aizawa was like, well, I guess if neither of them mind, then it's legal, I guess. So reactions were funny. And it was pretty much just a big salesmanship thing, and it ended up actually pretty great. It was funny to watch. Aoyama versus Ashido was next, and the animation with Ashido dodging all the attacks was actually pretty great again. And then that was pretty much all that it was. Of course, Ashido won. Momo versus Tokiyami, that was great, and I loved the way it was a quick match, but it all made sense, where you had just this all-out super fast strategy to win really fast, and that was Tokiyami's strategy. Push her out of the ring before she has time to create things. So, I don't know, that fast all-out offense strategy made for it to be fun to watch, and also made sense for it to not take up much time. Then Kirishima versus Tetsu. The OST when they were announcing him was great. We get the scene in the preparation rooms with Uraraka stressed out, which was funny. And man, I love this so much, because we're going into, and I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but when asked recently what my favorite fights from the manga were, one of my favorite fights was Uraraka versus Bakugo. This fight next week is just going to be so good, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a long week to wait for that, actually. I didn't think it would be, and this episode was great, but next week is just going to be so good with that fight. And even then, the OST at the end, when Kirishima finally gets the win, and they start introducing the Kirishima doesn't really get the win. It's kind of a draw, but yeah. You know what I mean. The draw, the double knockout, whatever, and they're going to settle it afterwards by an arm wrestling contest or whatever. So yeah, I really like the OST they used for the finish there, and especially I think it got even better. It swelled when they started introducing Uraraka and Bakugo, and they jumped right into that, and then right before the match starts, when they're announcing, start, whatever, that's when we cut away until next week, to be continued. So, I don't know. I just thought it was really good. It was really quick-paced, exciting to watch, and I really, and I've said it a lot before, I like quick-pace episodes, chapters, movies, where we're at one group and one thing, and we jump to the next, and then we jump to the next, and it's just really fast-paced and moves around to a lot of different characters. That's the kind of style I typically prefer. So yeah, I thought every fight was well animated. There was a lot of great OST use in a bunch of different parts. an amazing episode. Like I said, I could not be happier that we saw this fleshed out. And I love the way, I don't want to call it in-canon filler, because it's not really filler, it's just extra bonus content, really. I love the things that, when a show just in general doesn't stick exactly line for line, scene for scene to a manga, and sort of add some stuff here and there between things to flesh it out, make it more developed, I really like that added development. It just, especially one thing in characters, again pushing my hair out of my face with the notes, I feel like characters are a huge thing for me in stories, and when we had that stuff added in for an anime, it really makes the characters seem stronger. And that goes for any TV show or movie or anything based on a book where they do that. It really just, it adds to the characters more than it adds to anything else. And I don't know, that's a big thing for me. So yeah, moving into next week, it's going to be one of my favorite fights out of the entire manga, and I'm just so excited. For this, though, was a score, this is probably the weirdest score I've given something. 9.9 matches out of 10. I'm giving it 9.9 just because I really want to give it a perfect score, just because I'm so happy they didn't skip any matches and we actually got to see them all. But on the other hand, it wasn't, and it was incredibly well animated, great OST, like the production quality was great. But the only reason I don't quite want to give it a perfect score is just because it wasn't super emotional. It didn't really have a specific emotional audience connection it was trying to make. So yeah, very close to perfect, but I don't quite want to give it a perfect score because it wasn't one of those huge episodes. So yeah, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I hope you enjoyed this week's review. So like if you did like the video, and comment down there to tell me what you thought of this week's episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Boku no Hero Academia, both anime and manga, which we will be catching up to very soon, within the next week or two. Subscribe for more of that and more. Follow on Twitter if you want to try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That is it. So thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.